Marines here at 9. Morning.
Good morning. I can't wait to see those two guys you've got with you. They're amazing.
Aren't they?
Unbelievable and utterly gorgeous as well as that.
All right.
What a great story. I know,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's why I'm in
studio.
here. There and there. Can't wait to hear that. Now, coming up, how would you fancy this? Would you try a weight loss jab? Fronting a documentary tonight, Anna Richardson is here, along with a woman who lost 10 stone. That's me, basically. She lost me. I'm talking strictly Les Dennis and Nancy with a special preview of their debut dance. And, well, is there really life out there? Astronaut Tim Peake tells me why aliens do exist. We'll see you with that. Loads more at 9 o'clock.
And
See you then.
Ant and Dec want him in the jungle, don't they?
I know.
Yeah.
And wouldn't he be amazing?
Yeah.
Wouldn't he?
Well, I mean, he'd walk away with it, wouldn't he? Frankly.
Easy.
Great,
Easy.
thank you.
Catch her at 9. Now
Yeah,
then.
although we know she's watching.
Yeah,
this
they've got
next
eyeballs
item.
to the screen. Two former Royal Marines took on their own, I guess you could call it an Indiana Jones-style adventure when they attempted to journey 3,000 miles down the Amazon River, from its source in Peru all the way to the ocean.
Well, they fought off bad weather and wildlife. That was challenging enough. But then they had to wrestle with armed pirates deep in the jungle. And the pair were forced to abandon their charity expedition and seek medical aid. Their names are John Bathgate and Ian Roberts. And Will Godley has their story.
This is the source. We're going to follow that trickle in that river, 5,000 kilometres.
Conquering the width of South America, along the Amazon River from its source to sea, in what would be a world first. Former Marines John Bathgate and Ian Roberts taking on this feat dreamt up by John's dad.
Soon to be crossing the Peruvian border.
The mission saw them traversing the peaks of the Andes, deep jungle undergrowth, scaling down waterfalls, while navigating treacherous storms and deadly river rapids. But just 200 kilometres from the Colombian border, the pair were ambushed by armed pirates, having only their oars to fight back.
Just been shot twice. They got shot in the arm, and then we wrestled with them under the water. Got shot again in the leg.
They made a break for safety.
We're heading to community down here, but we've no idea what to expect.
Thankfully, the small local village were friendly and cared for John until help arrived and he could return to the UK. Now, having recovered, the pair are determined to finish the mission that almost cost them their lives.
Jeez.
And John and Ian join us now. Those pirates didn't know who they were taking on, did they? Tell us about the moment when you realised you were under attack, John, as you sport the recovery brace from the operation following the wounding.
Yeah, I suppose the moment we knew we were under attack was when the guy pulled out his weapon. Ian instantly thrust his paddle into the guy's chest. Great reaction move, which probably saved us both from taking a well-aimed shot. Yeah, that was it, and the fight started from there. Really.
So did you, when you first saw them, Ian, did you think that they were just other people on the river?
You get approached quite a lot going down the river by different villages, but these two looked quite kind of menacing, and they weren't responding in the normal way that the other villagers would.
Yeah, you say normally the response is firstly slight surprise to see strangers, and then warmth and friendliness. But you say these guys, they look mean from the off.
They sort of knew what they were doing, so they obviously preempted they were going to attack us and try and rob us or kill us. So yeah, you just got to see it all in their faces.
And John, what did you have on you that pirates would have been after?
Nothing on show, really. We had our phones out trying to use Google Translate, 'cause none of us have the best Spanish, unfortunately. And they speak in a sort of Spanish/indigenous dialect as well, so it's very hard for us to communicate. So the phones were out, but other than that, just big bags in the canoes. They must have been thinking there's stuff in these bags that we can take. And also they were just checking out that we weren't armed ourselves.
And so they drew their weapon. What kinds of guns did they have?
Just one 9mm pistol.
Just
automatic?
No, just a 9mm.
Okay.
9mm pistol, yeah.
And what, waved it at you threateningly?
It didn't even get the chance. Ian was so fast. It came out and Ian just thrust his paddle straight at the guy. A really great move.
That is quick thinking. Now, unsurprising, because you have specialist training, you're Royal Marines Commandos, former Royal Marines Commandos. You've never actually been in conflict, have you?
No.
So this is all from your training and your practicing and, you know, being out, sort of basically training for war situations, and has equipped you to deal with pirates that quickly on the Amazon River.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely helped, but I think just having a pistol pointed at you isn't very fun. So.
The thing is, of course it's not fun, but most people, when they have the pistol pointed at you, probably wouldn't have the enormous courage it takes to use their paddle to then fight off the pirates. You must have... Did you get a surge of adrenaline that gave you the strength? Did you know what you were doing? Had you trained for a scenario like this?
We talked about it, kind of had a sort of preempted plan if we were to get attacked.
Right.
Yeah, the adrenaline surge is massive. You just it happened in seconds. So for us, it was just this blind kind of panic.
And in part of your preparations, did you think, look, we're not going to carry guns, but we have paddles, and paddles are going to be our best defence? Was that the idea?
I don't think we specifically talked about using paddles, to be honest. Ian just had it in his hand and used it. We talked about if we get into trouble, we need to capsize their boat and then we can get away, because we're both bigger than your average guy out there and good swimmers. So that was our idea.
So the whole thing began to unfold. You deflect the gun to begin with, but it comes back up.
Mm-hmm.
You then decide to try and capsize their canoe. That's the second line of defence. But the gun goes off twice. You get hit in the shoulder, you get hit in the leg. You are lucky to be here, my friend. This is a 9mm bullet at point-blank range. And the one that hit you in the leg travelled right up the leg, didn't it? From the knee...
Yeah, just above the knee. I was underwater for the second one.
Yeah.
I'd basically grabbed the guy. This was the first shot. I'd gone into the water and then grabbed the guy to push him under. I guess I was just trying to drown him to put him out of the fight. And then I felt another round go into my leg.
Quick question in there then.
Yeah.
What's it like being shot? What does it feel like?
Just a full body jolt is the way to describe it. I didn't know where I'd been shot. I just felt like a jolt that went through my entire body.
And you knew straight away that was a bullet?
I knew I'd been shot. I didn't know what calibre, and I didn't really have any pain. And then swimming back to the boat later with the weapon in my hand, I was still unsure if it was, a dangerous weapon. I felt like it might have just been a pellet gun or something, because I didn't have any pain. I was still able to function.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't until we sort of saw the exit wounds that we realised that it was a powerful weapon.
So Ian, we're missing a bit in the story. So you're shot, but the guy's still got the gun. So how did you manage to get the gun, not be attacked again, and dispatch these two pirates?
That was actually John. So as we was kind of having a wrestle with the pirate, if you like, from a sort of odd position in the boat as it was beginning to capsize. And when it went over, I saw John come up and just plunge this guy underwater and then disarmed him underwater.
Oh, you disarmed him underwater. Did they survive, the two pirates?
Yeah. I was very lucky. When the second shot happened in very murky water, I was able to just follow my hand down his arm and found the weapon in his hand and twisted it out of his hand, and in that process fired two shots back at him. One of them hit him in the hip, and and a couple hours later they were found floating down the other side of the river, basically out of action with no boat, because Ian had capsized the boat and their engine had fallen off. So
they got arrested, did they?
So they were arrested by the police within a couple of hours, yeah.
OK.
What will happen to them?
They're in court. Proceedings are ongoing right now in Peru. So we've had some Zoom court meetings from
The thing is,
here.
quite apart from your shoulder, I mean, in your leg, your upper leg, you've got major arteries there. I mean, like serious arteries. You're so lucky that the bullet didn't go through one of them, because that would have been it. You would have bled to death, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would have been gone in no time. Nothing anyone could have done if it had hit that artery, but luckily it didn't. And
But you're going back.
Yep. Yeah.
Why?
Well, need to finish it.
Yeah.
Need to finish the job.
Yeah, can't let them get in our way.
And what is the mission out there?
Go on, John.
Yeah, we were raising money for charity for one, and second of all, it's to be the first team to navigate the Amazon from its highest source. So the summit of Chimborazo is the furthest sticking out point on planet Earth, and it's also a source of the Amazon, and nobody's completed that journey, the highest source down the greatest river on the planet. So,
given that they're not the only pirates cruising up and down the river, would you be tempted to try and get permission to take a gun yourself next time?
It's quite a lot of kind of red tape to do that, but we do need to go out with a bigger team. So we have to have sort of lessons identified for what happened, so we can take a bigger team out.
So
and
safety in
hopefully-
numbers.
safety in numbers and maybe a local who can actually do the security side for us.
Problem with that.
And the local might be armed. Because you see,
Well,
I wouldn't
yeah,
like to
hopefully,
go out again against pirates who've got a gun and I haven't.
Yeah, hopefully so. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to work that out at the moment.
Right.
So, yeah.
The problem with taking a weapon is it changes the dynamics when you're visiting communities. If they see an armed
Totally.
person come in,
Yeah.
they might not respond to you the
You
same
don't
way.
want to escalate anything, do you?
exactly.
No.
You want to minimise the chances of any shots being fired.
However, if we go out unarmed and one of us gets shot and killed, we look pretty stupid. So.
So if you go back, well, you are going back, when will it be?
June, probably.
Looking at June.
Good luck.
Thank
Take
you
care
very
of
much.
yourself. Come
Well
back and see us
done.
when you get back.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Please
Thank you.
come back. Yeah.
We'll do our best.